Today is the most up-to-date, cutting-edge alpha I can drop on gaming. And that's because we've seen some of the dirty secrets come out in the wash here from some projects that are faking like real authentic gaming projects, like real disruptors. And we're now starting to see some of the cracks in, of course, the gold rush that has been happening here in crypto gaming. Now, I told you without a shadow of a doubt that 2021 would be the year of the NFT, that gaming would control the NFT space. It is all playing out exactly as I predicted. And today I'm going to show you how to peel back the layers and how to look at certain coins. I'm also going to be naming some of the most important coins that I invested into and showing you why, helping you get ahead of this game and learn how to place your own bets. Again, this is just my strategy. Hopefully it helps you absolutely crush this crypto gaming bull run that I believe will be the most important financial movement in the history of the internet. Mark my words. With that said, let's dive in. First of all, let's get one thing out of the way. I'm going to call the shots exactly as I see them, and you need to learn to separate short-term analysis from medium-term to long-term. Now, long-term, I have absolutely no doubt that crypto gaming is going to eat up the internet. It's going to eat crypto. Crypto is going to eat the internet. Very easy transitive property here. This is going to be the biggest thing ever. Now, does that mean that every dollar you spend in this industry is instantly going to go up, that there's not going to be crashes or rocky roads along the way? Of course not. Everything in crypto is a rocky road. There is always doom and moon, and you need to learn to coexist in this crazy, crazy environment. Now, I made a video yesterday saying, hey, we might be looking at another March 2020 flu-induced type market crash, which is amazing because the government's just going to ramp up that money printing and literally pour it into crypto indirectly. So that would be amazing for all of these super risk-on assets. Long-term, I'm super confident that if you spread out your bets in blue chip gaming projects, you'll probably do well. But everybody here, I know you guys want those astronomical, life-changing type projects. So to understand how to do well with those, you really need to learn how to peel back the layer and find out what's legit at the earliest possible stage. So let's talk a little bit about that. So Alex posted this today, and essentially it's one guy, Jason Choi, saying how to make $20 million in play to earn today. Buy a custom Unreal demo for $300, say it's PDE in the deck, raise 20 to 100 million from pre-product from VCs, oversubscribed by 5x, need answer in 24 hours, profit. This is unfortunately kind of what's going on behind the scenes, is that there's such a gold rush, it's such a absolute cash grab mania to get into these play to earn games that VCs are just chucking money at everything. And this is also a product of, we've been in a bull run now for 2 years. VCs are so disgustingly rich that they don't care. They could put $1 million here, 500K there. They don't care. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But chances are in this market, it's going to go up. So people are just spraying and praying. I know all the VCs I've seen lately are literally putting money into everything. So when a project says, oh, we've got good VCs, it is literally meaningless. Literally meaningless. Actually meaningless, worthless. So understand that VCs backing a project, it's like this crazy, crazy rush. Right now, this is not an exaggeration. This is really true. Obviously, Alex retweeted this, and this is the sad truth, is that you can get something kind of really sleek going from the 3D art perspective within Unreal pretty quickly. Understanding art is not a game. A game is not just art. Art is a part of a game. I could go on ArtStation right now and you see all this crazy art. All the best 3D artists in the whole world hang out on ArtStation. If I wanted to, I could just go in here and search by game art, and I can find all of the best artists from all the best games. Do you want characters? Do you want environmental art? What do you want? I can get it. And the thing is, you know, this art isn't that expensive. I can get an absolutely amazing photorealistic model for a couple $1,000. I could get some absolutely shocking models created because artists are looking for work, right? So I could spend a few grand and have something absolutely fantastic and stick them in an Unreal map in the course of a few days. And it would look beautiful because everything in Unreal looks beautiful. That does not equal a game. That doesn't mean people are going to want to be in it for more than a few minutes. It just doesn't even come close. The amount of work required is not just days or weeks. It's not just months. It is years to get from art to actual, full, really exciting, tight gameplay. Understand that. So before we dive too much into the actual good games that I'm going to show you why I like like them, why I invested into them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Sol Chicks Exposé. Sol Chicks was this kind of hot trending game that's been floating around. It's been brought up to me a bunch of times. And what we just learned is that there is this horrific kind of sweatshop behavior going on behind the team. And it was so bad that there was actually an expose, a whistleblower from within the company created something called the solchickspapers.com, which is actually a full website exposing the shady business practices of Sol Chicks. Now, does this mean that this is a scam? I'm not saying this is a scam, but let's just say they have all these documents showing team profiles, play to earn white papers. They literally have documents about how they botted their Discord, how they botted their Telegram. The restricted section shows how they botted their Telegram and Discord, how they expensed their giveaways. We see more red flags about how they just got a cameo from Ice Cube on Cameo. This is a really simple thing that anyone can do. It does not mean that Ice Cube supports the project. And most notably, the Sol Chicks CEO and creator, co-founder, apparently rug pulled on 2 separate projects this year, not even like years ago. Like a lot of these scammers from years ago come back years later. This guy actually rug pulled twice this year. So it's not just once or twice, this is a 3rd time. But now the Sol Chicks thing really took off because we have this crypto gaming bull run we're in. And so if you go to the Sol Chicks site, you'll see it's the leading, play to earn game, the leading play to earn game on Solana. It's got some decent art here. Again, art is super cheap. I promise you guys that. We've got a little chicken kind of nodding and animated here. And then we've got a little bit of very limited, honestly, not that impressive gameplay. We just have a low poly world here. We have some, random animation. We have a wolf and some flames. And as you can see there's like a really short shot of them shooting some fireballs at this Sol Fox. If we really take a closer look here, the UI it's definitely aged. It's not modern. It looks like they just kind of used a bunch of stock parts here. I will say the Sol Chick thing is cute. However, this is definitely going down and kind of being red flagged as potentially a really risky project to be involved in. Anyway, this guy William is the one that everyone is claiming has rug pulled twice before. I can't confirm that. I wasn't a part of those projects. I didn't dive deep enough, but it seems as though this has been pretty well confirmed and that the actual excuse they gave was that he wasn't that deeply involved in the other projects, even though he was listed as the co-founder. So not sure we buy that. Look, I'm going to be honest, this little gameplay over here on the left does seem cute, does seem interesting, so I could see why people were excited about it, but at the same time, you just want to really understand, is this going to be real? Are people going to play this? And it's really hard to do that before there's an actual game. So in the case of something like Sol Chicks, do I know if it's a scam? Is it going to be a real game? Is the guy just unlikable? I don't know. But the point is, FOMOing into this stuff is probably bad for your health, waiting for crashes, waiting for dumps, then actually playing the game and earning the in-game tokens. That's the low risk way and the smart way to get involved with these economies. Look at Axie. People just played that and earned SLP and became millionaires. That's real stories. So speaking of a good game, obviously Big Time is something you've probably heard of. Thankfully, Alex and I were able to sit down with the team. Ari here from the team actually was a co-founder of Decentraland, and they've been working on this game since I think early 2020 or maybe late 2019. So what you see here is that they've got a pretty decent looking game here. It looks and feels really good when it's in motion in Unreal Engine. I think they've done a good job with the visuals. They have like the cell shader and the stylized approach. That said, it's hard for you to know anything about Big Time unless you've been able to sit down with the team, play the game, actually get a feel for it. And this is where it becomes quite tricky and where I just want everyone to be having a lot of caution. In the video game industry, it's very common to have big releases all at once when the product is ready, kind of like a movie. You don't see them editing the scenes. You don't see all the outtakes. You just see the final feeling that they want you to have. And that's very, very similar with video games. So a lot of the big, super legit games aren't just going to kick out some random demo and just hope you FOMO into the token. The ones doing that are typically pretty amateurish teams. The more professional teams are going to have more slow and methodic rollouts. For example, this Syndicate Sin City game, it doesn't look like much right now, but I invested in this like almost 6 months ago, and I've seen the graphics. It's gorgeous. It's actually been in production for a long time. There is a huge Korean publicly traded video games company called NCSoft that's behind it. And so there's a lot going on here behind the scenes that you guys will soon see as well. And so I'm very excited about this Mafia metaverse that's coming with Sin City or the Syndicate. Now that said, if you were to just look at this, you probably wouldn't know all that, right? So there's a little bit of a knowledge gap happening right now between those who are behind the scenes and seeing the deals before they come and those who are just on the market. So a lot of these games out here, unless you've seen like Sandbox or Axie, right? These are the blue chips, Gala, right? Illuvium. Unless you've actually seen the gameplay, it's still a lot of TBD right here. As soon as you start getting down here more, you start getting into really risky territory because a lot of the games that actually have decent gameplay, they're waiting now. They have funding, they have VC support, and they're waiting to do a big methodical rollout. Then we get something like a Thetan Arena, which seems really awesome. It's got working gameplay. It started about a month or two ago in the $1 range, and it popped up here to about 21 bucks at the peak. But if you look here, the actual fully diluted valuation is almost $7 billion. So it's not cheap, right? That's already a very, very high valuation. It could 4x here or 5x and be closer to the Axie Infinity valuation, fully diluted. And so it doesn't give you a ton of room to grow. But again, you already know that there is gameplay, right? And we've seen what happened with Gala Games. It just went absolutely parabolic, just never stopping the green candles. And it's at a fully diluted, let me see the FDV on Gala. Yeah, it's at $30 billion. So it's certainly possible to grow that hard. But Gala definitely is now in that blue chip category, right? So looking for those low cap gems, you want to look for playability that you can touch and feel and see if it's fun ahead of time. You don't want to be over FOMOing based on graphics and things like that unless you're sure that the team is going to deliver. Like Illuvium, they have like 100 people there already. I'm very confident that they'll ship something eventually, maybe not immediately, but soon. And then you have things like the World Wide Web. World Wide Web here was created by actually a buddy that I've met, this guy Thomas Webb. It's pretty much one guy who's been able to throw together all of this, and he created this pixel metaverse that you can just hop into and start playing around with. You can bring in your NFTs here and your .eth domains, and you have a bunch of naked people here. But the reality is there's a bunch of NFTs like CryptoPunks. You can see someone's wearing their CryptoPunk. There's a bunch of people who have brought in their CyberKongs. And so what's cool about this one is it's browser-based, so there's absolutely no barriers to entry, and there's a ton of interoperability here. There's quests, there's ways to play to earn coming, and so this is the kind of stuff where I could see, all right, well, they've gone for this interoperable approach. As you can see, there's some CyberKongs here. It's just interesting to see how they've gone for a very open, decentralized metaverse that's accessible to all, and they've chosen to sacrifice on graphics, saying, okay, we're just going to do a pixel metaverse and just allow people to come in and vibe, do missions, earn, grind, whatever it might be. So there's that sort of low fidelity, high access approach, which is one strategy. And in my opinion, you should be looking at spreading out your bets from the AAA stuff, the really immersive stuff, to the really easy to accomplish, open, decentralized stuff that could bring in the masses. Again, right now for web, there's only some assets on trading on OpenSea. Check that out. The penthouses are already going for huge money. And so it seems as though the NFT community is kind of coming into hodl these, but I do believe that there is a play to earn coin coming, and so keep your eyes out for that. What's cool about this is it's already shipped and live, and they're just doing constant updates and updates, trying to keep the content fresh in here. So quite interesting to see that, the speed of delivery. So you see that this game sort of falls into that low fidelity, high access category, whereas other games will fall into the high fidelity, harder to access category, but again, solving different problems. Another game I thought was pretty cool that has some good working gameplay here is Ember Sword. Ember Sword, they've got this nice little stylized low poly world that they created. As you can see, there's a bunch of stuff you can go do already. They only have plans right now for a land sale, but check out their community right now. I'm definitely in communication with them, looking to invest myself into this as it is quite far along, and it does seem to check a lot of the boxes. Now, first and foremost, it is impossible right now to front run and completely know for sure which games or gaming ecosystems algorithms will dominate the metaverse. But we have the opportunity right now to spread out bets into a bunch of these baby projects that very well might blossom into becoming the next behemoths of the blockchain, the behemoths of gaming in general. And that will impact culture in a massive, massive way. What we can learn from things like Sol Chicks is that not everything is what it seems, and Sol Chicks very well might ship a game. It might be successful, but it does feel like there's a lot of red flags around that one that very well might lead to it sputtering or not having the success that they want. Now, at this point, I'm seeing so many game pitches and game decks. I'm excited for all of them, but the reality is I'm spreading out my bets on ones that have proven teams, proven founders, and most importantly, working gameplay. The gameplay and tokenomics will separate the good projects from the weak projects. In the end, if a project is just pay to win and all you have to do to experience the game well is spend money, then that's probably going to work to stimulate the game economy short term, but long term, it's going to make it so that nobody has fun and new players can never enjoy the game. So what you really want is to be a part of a game economy that grows to be one of the biggest in the world, and that means serving the masses. So you need to make sure that the game isn't some kind of pure pay to win Ponzi-like experience, and you want to make sure that the gameplay is real, tangible, and fun. In my opinion, the biggest wave for 2022 will be play and earn, not play to earn, because essentially play to earn is just like the gig economy within a video game. Play and earn combines the dopamine release, the contagious, addictive nature of gaming with this amazing crypto economy. The games that are trying to achieve that high satisfaction with gameplay as well as really cool economy, I think they'll hit the nail on the head. Right now, looking at games like Sin City, games like Big Time, games like Imposters, maybe a game like Ember Sword, we'll have to see what happens there. Again, Sandbox is looking great, and Axie, of course, has enough of a treasury that they could just buy a AAA game studio if they wanted, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did, which is why Axie is still a very interesting token to behold. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's just so much information here. Again, I'm trying to help you understand and differentiate between certain projects, because right now it's so easy for people to go grab some 3D art, go make some like really simple demo in Unreal Engine. I see pictures like of a character standing unrigged, unanimated in a big open field all the time, and people are like, metaverse. It's like, it's such nonsense. And so I just need you guys to understand that actually getting to a fully built, fully delivered game is really hard. The projects that have already done the hard work over the last few years to get here will thrive. They're the ones who predicted the future, and they deserve it. The ones that are cash grabbing based on the Axie hype will leave a lot of people completely wrecked. I want you to have your antenna on and make sure that you're asking the hard questions, digging in, and making sure that these teams are going to deliver. With that said, I'm EllioTrades. If you guys got some value out of this one, make sure to smash that like button. As always, I'm going to be doing more upcoming coin picks, so make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification on. You can find me on Twitter at EllioTrades. The link is in the description, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.